Welcome everyone and another edition of CIW, this time 6-man elimination tag. It is Mick Foley, Frozone, and Ermac against the team of Ric Flair, Smoke, and Jimmy Korderas. Let's get it going here. My name as always is The Colonist. This is our second of 3 hype videos, getting ready for the ultimate culmination in the Anniversary WrestleBration Spectacular that is set to take place very, very soon, starting on February 1st, and then going all the way till February 4th. 16 matches, 4-day extravaganza. Hope to see you there. There will be additional commentary as well. I can confirm that now. If you recall from way many moons ago, Abe Bizzle makes his return to the commentary booth. He and I are going to wreck it. We're going to tear it down. We finally got that finalized as of this week that he will be with us. Mick Foley out here. Ermac coming out now. Ermac had a pretty decent record in CIW's past. I can't remember, I don't have the notebook on me, but if you know, you the fans know, feel free to leave it in the comments and remind us what his track record was up to this point. But instead, here is Ermac. And now this match all started. The history of this match is that Mick Foley and Ric Flair have been at each other's throats for many years now, obviously having an incredible I Quit match in 2006, having some actually quite good matches against each other in 2010. Say what you want about Ric Flair's return to the ring for money. But these two have obviously had a lot of issues. They got into a fight on Twitter, said let's settle it in the ring. We had our people call their people. They both agreed to come here, but Rick wanted the stipulation that this was going to be a 6-man elimination tag. He would take 2 CIW guys, and Mick Foley would take 2 CIW guys. Now, for the sake of continuity, none of the people you were seeing on these hype matches are going to be on the show. So what you're seeing here of these 6 individuals, none of these men will appear come February the 1st through February the 4th. We have a stacked card. And by the end of this night, I will reveal one match. Just one. But if you stay tuned and you watch next week's video, as Frozone makes his way to the ring, if you stay tuned for next week's episode and next week's match, I will reveal 2 more matches. So you will know 3 matches out of 16 over 4 days. But we've got some incredible matchups coming there. Cannot wait to get that going. And speaking of cannot wait, Frozone looking absolutely chipper, like he just got a good night's sleep, and he very well could have. Frozone we have not seen here in a long while, and Frozone is still not have the most auspicious track record here in CIW. Was last seen teaming with Packard, and we have no idea where Packard is. Ric Flair coming his way to the ring. Now, for the sake of getting Rick here, we kind of had to lie to him. Because as far as Rick knows, this is the one and only match of the WrestleBration. We kind of, because Rick wouldn't show up if we had told him this match was going on the hype show. And not even like the last hype show that's on like the whole 5-day set. It's just like a week before. So, obviously, nobody tell Ric Flair. We have not told Ric Flair. He thinks that this match is the main event, and he didn't ask why we're on Velocity stage. Naturally, we told him because it's something different that we were able to use. So nobody tell him. And Rick, obviously, and now this is an elimination tag team match, meaning that the first team to eliminate all 3 members of the other team will be the winner. Ric Flair looking great for his age. Obviously has gone through a lot of medical procedures of late, but it's nice to see that he is doing what he does best, which is styling and profiling. I like the robe, that black and gold. Here comes his tag partner, Smoke. Now, I cannot tell you why any of these CIW guys even have a stake in this match or they care about this match. But obviously they want to be on the show. They were not booked for the main show. And as a result of not being booked for the main show, I think they're just going, let's get a paycheck either way. And if they want to hop on as Ric Foley versus Flair, to be honest, I don't know how invested they really even are in Mick and Rick. You know, that Smoke obviously is just doing what he can. Smoke, former XYZ champion, he is well aware that this is not the this is not the main event, but he's going to treat it like such, as all of these men are. As this is certainly a big match, and you never know where these careers are going to head. That's some intensity. That's intensity we didn't need. And but that's intensity that's going to win him this matchup if he tries hard enough. And here comes their tag partner, Jimmy Korderas. Jimmy, a former WWE official, joined the NWO and has done nothing but lose pretty much since the get-go. You want to talk about losing records? Jimmy Korderas is certainly no stranger to a losing record. But at the end of the day, it's this kind of matchup that really does, set the stage and set the tone for what is to come here in CIW, and I can't wait for this. It is so cool to be back and to be ready to go. It has been far too long since we have had a flurry of matches like this, and particularly even uploading at this level of frequency, as it has been a long time. And now, again, this is six-man tag, but these are regular six-man tag rules, which means players can be eliminated from pinfall, submission, countout, or disqualification, and here we go. And now it needed a gut from Ric Flair and a Russian leg sweep. Immediate Russian leg sweep, knocking down Mick Foley. Interesting that both of these two men decided to start this matchup, as these two guys, obviously the ones who are truly at each other's throats, the two at the heart of this rivalry. We have referee John Goodman here, and what a thrust kick by Ric Flair, not something you see every day from the Nature Boy. And Ric Flair obviously takes great umbrage in Mick Foley, considers Mick just a hardcore wannabe wrestler. Obviously, Mick has proven himself over the years to quite the contrary. And now just raining vicious right hands under Ric Flair. These two have never let punches fly loosely before when these two have fought. And now tagging in Frozone is Mick Foley, as Ric Flair getting the better of the two in that exchange, it appeared. And I've never seen Ric Flair and Frozone one-on-one in the ring together. Obviously something different. What a European uppercut by Frozone. Oh, thumb to the eye. A vicious thumb to the eye by Ric Flair. Obviously the dirtiest player of the game, trying to do everything he can to secure a win here for his team, namely for him. I don't know how much Rick even cares for his team, but it was Rick who suggested this be a six-man tag team match. And here we are with 4 CIW contingents with no prior relationship to each other. And now that is not going to help Ric Flair in anything that he does, particularly when talking about styling and profiling, going on to Magic Space Mountain and all of that stuff that Rick is known for. And Rick obviously going to take some time to slap that off, but gets a slap in before he leaves. And now in comes Jimmy Korderas, his first action of the matchup. And Frozone and Korderas are no strangers, have faced each other a couple of times in matches previous. And referee John Goodman's going to have his hands full here, as and now going for a Boston Crab and really wrenching the back, but Smoke right there to break it up and get it on a rope break. And there's going to be a lot of pinfall breaking up. And Smoke with a bulldog, and down goes Frozone. Frozone just trying to fight his way back into this matchup. And it's still pretty early here. I don't expect anyone to be eliminated for some time. And they're just sticking the foot right across the back and wrenching the arms is Frozone on Jimmy Korderas. Flair and Ermac fighting on the outside. And Ermac just with a flurry of punches to Flair. And, like I said, having hands full. Ermac and Smoke certainly no strangers. Ermac and Smoke had one of the most memorable matchups I can recall with an errant noob Cybot referee. And now Foley and Ermac working on Korderas. Now all three of them in the ring. John Goodman's got to get at least one of these guys out of here. And now a 3-on-1 situation. And I'm not gonna lie here, I'm a little surprised that A, Goodman's not doing a damn thing about it, or B, that the team of Mick Foley, Frozone, and Ermac seems to be the one that's doing just a little bit more underhanded tactics. And we will have to see if that stays congruent throughout the matchup, as this is going to be one for the long haul, ladies and gentlemen. Potentially the longest matchup as we've seen these matches happen. And now a double team. Frozone and Ermac. And Ermac, obviously no stranger to high-profile matches, as Ermac once competed for the CIW Heavyweight Championship, competed twice for it, actually. The first time, the whole match being interrupted by the Shades of Black, who we will see later on in the CIW WrestleBration. And Ermac might be getting ready for Ermac's elbow. This looks like it's going to be a stinger here, and bam! And will that be enough to put Korderas away? Ermac with the cover, Goodman for the count, but Smoke and Flair both right there to break it up. And that could have been the end of Korderas right there, but saved by his team. And now another double team. This time from Frozone and Ermac. And Foley being scolded to leave the ring. A drop kick from Flair. And a bow and arrow from Frozone. This is a lot to cover, ladies and gentlemen. And not enough to get the submission there. Ermac and Smoke now fighting in the ring. Got a lot of high-profile names. Flair, a 16-time World's Champion. Foley, a 2 to 3-time World's Champion. Korderas, a former CIW House Show Champion, prior to the very first shows being aired back in the House Show days when they were just samplers. And Frozone also, I believe, accomplished that feat as a House Show Champion. So gold around most, if not all, of these men's waists prior to this match of very high-profile athletes here tonight. And this is just the start, folks. This isn't even the start. This is the hype before the start. And well, now Foley with a huge chop to Korderas. But so far, neither team able to get a distinct advantage. Nice backbreaker by Smoke. Now the two men who are legal men, both down. Frozone needs to get a cover on Korderas here. But instead, looks like he's going to go for another bow and arrow. Will this be enough to get Korderas to tap? And Flair and Smoke both, I thought they broke it up, but Flair just breaking it up. And that really could have been bad. Now Flair, in traditional Flair fashion, chop block to the knee, working on those long limbering legs of Frozone. Now just a couple stomps, a couple vicious stomps from Smoke, and now a gutbuster from Ermac. These 6 men want this win. Obviously, 2 working for Foley, 2 working for Flair. Foley obviously wants to beat Flair. Flair obviously wants to beat Foley. And I believe so far in their history, Flair has won both, if I'm not mistaken, has won both hardcore encounters between these two. But I'm going to look that up, because I am not positive. Now Foley going for a cover on Korderas. Could it be enough? And Smoke right there again. Yeah, now wrenching the back of Korderas. Korderas really needs to make a tag here. This is not looking good for the former official and member of the NWO. CIW's NWO, that is. But has not changed, has not asphyxiated himself with another faction, has remained loyal. They say that when you're part of the NWO, you were part of the NWO for life. Now, Smoke just wrenching the back of Mick Foley, and Smoke's not even the legal man. Surprised Frozone's not trying to get a fist in. But the double team attacks from Smoke and Korderas might be enough to put Foley away here. And now it looks like an STF from Jimmy Korderas. Now these 6 men, so I'm looking up at the same time I'm trying to commentate here, because I want to be correct. And now Smoke has got Foley up. Korderas did get the tag to Smoke, and now fireman's carry. It was a last man standing match. That's all I know, but who is the last man standing? I think it was Rick. But we are going to find out very shortly. No, fuck you, Daily Motion. Garbage. Who won? I just want to know who won. Blah, 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 blah. Now another fireman's carry takedown onto Foley. And oh no, Mick Foley won it. I'm sorry. Mick Foley is the one who won that. So these are split one apiece then. So this match, also a rubber match of sorts between these two, thus making the stakes even higher. Because this will definitively, let's hope, end the feud. And now tagging in Frozone, Korderas back in, which is a surprising move on behalf of this team. And now going back and forth are Frozone and Korderas. Which team will get the first elimination? Belly to belly side slam onto Korderas. And Korderas really struggling here to keep it in with these two, but he's got a good team. Will they be able to break up the pin? Yes, they will. Once again, breaking up what probably would have been a 3 count, knife edge chop by Ermac. And now, and a low blow from Flair. A low blow from Flair to the legal man. And that is why Flair is known as the dirtiest player in the game. One of the best ever to do it, and the best ever to do it, especially while referee John Goodman wasn't looking. And now Frozone with a gut French suplex, taking down Korderas. Now a nice punch to the chest. As Frozone looking to get his name back in the win column. Now wrenching the arm is Korderas. What's Korderas doing here? Looks like he's trying to get him into the corner. And is having an issue with it, and now instead going for a sleeper. Will this be enough to end up in Frozone? But not enough, and Korderas obviously hurt. Obviously very hurt here. Smoke coming back in now. And a drop kick to Flair, and Smoke goes down. A twofer. And now here comes Frozone, and now dragging Smoke back, but then tags in Ermac. Ermac and Smoke locking up. Obviously not only have a history here in CIW, but also have a history just in the name of what they do in the Mortal Kombat realm. And now wrenching the head, chin lock, and getting a rope break after pushing them to the ropes. And when it comes to potentially eliminating situations, you got to give credit to Flair, Smoke, and Korderas. They have been quick as a hiccup, getting there to save their partner. Now what's Frozone doing? Spike pile driver. And that does not bode well for the cranium of Smoke. But Smoke, obviously not one to quit. And look at that, just came right back. Right back with a thumb to the eye, and smartly going back to his corner as Ermac hits a huge and swinging neck breaker. Now Frozone back in. And it's really fantastic seeing these 6 individuals fighting with everything they have here, really going for it all. And remember, there are countouts, so if the legal man gets counted out, that man will be eliminated. And that is something they have to pay attention to, as Korderas went for a backbreaker and Frozone countered with a very athletic counter, landing on his feet. But now, everybody back in the ring. A lot of cat and mouse going on. But I believe it's Jimmy Korderas who is the man outside the ring who should be inside the ring. Now a gutbuster to Korderas, or running knee rather, by Ermac. Now the 2 legal men back in this contest, Korderas and Frozone. And so far, and now it's just hauling Frozone out to the back with a vicious right hand. And now might be going for a spring. Looked like he was about to do a springboard. Thought better of it, did Korderas. And that might have been good considering his physical state at the moment. And now we've got both men outside the ring in Korderas and Frozone, both legal men. Smoke now helping Frozone. Korderas now just stopping a mud hole into Frozone. And the double team onto Frozone by Smoke and Korderas. Korderas smartly getting back in the ring. And Flair taking out Foley in another spot. And look at how brilliant Smoke was, keeping Frozone out of the ring. As he tried to make attempt back, Frozone laid out, Korderas still in. Is this enough to get one member of this team eliminated? Referees count up at 9. And now look at Ermac attacking Flair, but the bigger story here is that we've got an elimination. Frozone is out. And now it is down to the team of Mick Foley and Ermac against the 3-man contingent of Flair, Smoke, and Korderas. And now Foley gonna go for a cover, trying to take Korderas out, and again, Smoke quick on the chops to break up that count and save his partner. Spectacular tag team work, undoubtedly orchestrated by one of the best minds in the professional wrestling business ever in the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Swinging neckbreaker by Foley. Boy, Korderas has taken a hell of a lot of punishment. Is this going to be it for Korderas? No, cover 2, and once again at the last second, Smoke breaks up the count. Smoke obviously part of a very strong tag team in itself, and Smoke just went for the smoke screen and just hit it on Foley. Foley might be dazed, and Foley getting right back up. Obviously, speaking of weathering a lot of punishment, Mick Foley has weathered an incredible amount of punishment. Ermac gonna get an Ermac elbow onto Korderas again, so long as he's not interrupted, and he won't be. But will Foley be smart enough to go for the cover? He just had his bell rung, and now trying to get it himself. But Korderas fighting back. Goodman has his hands full with the illegal man in Ermac. Boy, what a contest this has been so far. How much longer will these 6 have? How much more do they have to give? And I'm guessing the eliminations are going to come hard and heavy soon. But we got to hope that Foley and Ermac can finally get a pinfall here to even the odds. And now Foley getting the business from Goodman. And that looked like a close fist punch from Korderas. I don't know how legal that was. But smartly, again, tagging in Smoke. And if you've noticed, ever since Flair began this match, he has not tagged in once. This has been all Smoke and Jimmy Korderas, as Flair seemingly has been able to just kind of put his back to the wall and let his boys, his lackeys, do the work. And now right hands raining down on Smoke until Smoke finally stops Foley. And another tag. In comes Korderas. I was starting to say Smoke, part of a prolific tag team in Noob Smoke, a team that did not last based on desires for the XYZ Heavyweight Championship. Smoke has some incredible matches with Aquaman under his belt, has some incredible matches with Noob Saibot. Obviously here tonight, looking to compete and get victory for his team and get Ric Flair that grudge match win that he has been so close and aching for. Hence why we are here tonight in our second of 3 hype videos before the Anniversary WrestleBration. And Smoke again kicks out. And speaking of Noob Saibot, I will reveal right now that in one of the 4 days, you are going to see for the XYZ Heavyweight Championship a brotherly feud as Noob Saibot, the defending XYZ champion, takes on Sub-Zero in a one-on-one contest. Surely going to be a terrific matchup there. And will the brothers be able to hold, or will it be a fight to the death? And guess who once again breaks up the count? And Flair getting in there to do some damage, but Flair not looking too hot. Has taken a lot of bumps, but never is the legal man because of the genius that is the mind of Ric Flair. Ermac hits a 3rd Ermac elbow, and Foley now going for a Boston Crab, and Foley really needs to start doing things for the team rather for himself. And when you talk about cohesive units, it has been all Team Flair. As Ermac has set the stage for Foley on a number of occasions, and Foley has not gone for the cover, and now a bunch of errant punches, and Goodman's got to take a breather on the ropes, not happy with the fact that both Smoke and Ermac just slapped the taste out of his mouth. And and a miscue there is, it seemed like Korderas was going to go off the top, and Foley caught him at the pass, and now Foley double arm DDT! But is Korderas far enough from the corner? And now Foley bringing him towards the center. Maybe not have been the smartest decision, because guess who's the best at breaking up counts? And it's Smoke once again. And when you talk about team MVP, Smoke has to come into consideration here in this brutal 6-man tag team encounter. Ref John Goodman talking to Flair. Elbow drop on the Foley by Smoke on the outside. And Ermac, who's gotten the better of Korderas on almost every occasion here, has been doing everything he possibly can to set Korderas up for elimination, but not to be, as now Flair and Goodman having control of it as just chops, vicious chops to Mick Foley from Smoke. As Korderas now in the ring, awaiting the legal man to make that cover. We thank you very much for inviting us into your home. This is going to be quite an incredible series of days here. And somebody left a snake somewhere. And if somebody could grab this snake, hey, somebody please grab this snake. Again, I can't disclose where we are. Vicious elbow to Mick Foley. Okay, thank you. I guess Jake the Snake Roberts must have been here somewhere. Oh wait, Korderas going for a cover, and they're going to be able to stop Ermac, and they both do. And now it is 1-on-3. Springboard by Korderas. And not wasting any time is Team Flair on capitalizing on the 3-on-1 advantage. And you have to imagine the Flair would have much rather liked to have gotten that particular pinfall. But now, Team Foley in a bad way here. Flair going for a springboard. Not a solid move, Rick. Come on, stay in your lane, man. We love you, Rick. We don't want to see you springboard. Of anyone who does a springboard, we don't want to see Rick springboard. And now a backbreaker. But obviously worse for wear is Ermac. Ermac really needs to get an elimination here. And Ermac dragging Korderas to the center of the ring, but it took too long. That might have been the time to get a cover, but Ermac not to be, as he's still trying to get the advantage over Korderas. And once again, the frequent tags of this team, of Korderas, Smoke, and Flair, these three came in with a game plan, and by God, they are executing that game plan to near perfection. Now Smoke up at the top. Oh, went for an elbow drop, but I think Korderas had Ermac preoccupied. With a kick to the groin, no less. That was just disrespectful stomps to the face from Smoke. As Ermac trying with everything he can, he knows his back's against the wall. Will he be able to rally and defeat all three members of Team Flair here tonight? And now a hip toss. But the odds just might be too insurmountable. I don't want to say that Ermac's drawing dead, but he's certainly not in the high percentile of win probability. That's kicking to the back. And now, will this be enough? Now and went for a cover, but too close to the ropes was Ermac. And that was just a low blow. A vicious low blow by Ric Flair that took it. And now, as Flair was talking to Goodman, you didn't see it, folks. Goodman didn't see it, folks. But I sure as hell did. You guys sure as hell did. The fans sure as hell did. As a blatant low blow from Smoke. And now, Goodman couldn't help it. He's given the business, and it's over. To underhanded, shady tactics from all three men, but you gotta say it worked to perfection. As Team Flair emerges victorious, Korderas, Smoke, and Flair pitch the shutout. What a matchup. And this is just the pre-show, ladies and gentlemen. One more matchup coming up next Friday, and then it's the Anniversary WrestleBration, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready, because this is only the start. My name is The Colonist. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.